Gaining knowledge can be a pain in the proverbial.
No one, however smart, however well educated, however experienced, is the suppository of all wisdom.
He meant repository, we hope.
If you want to dribble and drill, you dribble and drill, mate.
Kevin Rudd keeps his knowledge close at hand.
For full disclosure, I'm using notes also today.
He used them in the first debate as well. That's against the rules.
There's a limit to sort of how much you can scribble down on the palm of your hand.
The problem with the Prime Minister last night was not that he was reading from notes, it was more that the notes weren't worth reading.
The Prime Minister's blaming his staff for failing to point out the rules.
I was in receipt of no such advice.
Perhaps someone should have advised Tony Abbott against this comment.
I think that a lot of people look back on the Kennedy era and say it was a golden age of development.
It opened the door for another scare about what'll be cut to fund the coalition's promises.
In the period that Mr Kennett was Premier of Victoria, 300 public schools were closed, 9,000 teachers and school staff were sacked, 3,500 nurses were sacked, 17 hospitals were closed.
And there'll be much more on cuts and costings to come. The Treasury's final update on the economy, known as PFO, is expected to confirm the government's economic update that revenue has collapsed by more than $30 billion and unemployment is set to rise above 6%.
Well, we'll have a look at PFO tomorrow. We'll consider it carefully. We will not have a rash response, and we'll give an appropriate response as that comes out.
Mr Abbott has a plan to pay for his promises. He just doesn't want to share it with you, because if you know what it is, you are less likely to vote for him.
Both leaders have a plan for nation building.
That's what this government is about, building our country's future.
I want to be an infrastructure Prime Minister.
As Prime Minister, Tony Abbott would deliver an annual statement on infrastructure to Parliament. Kevin Rudd, meanwhile, is focused on building skills, promising another $35 million to train up 7,000 workers. David Lipson, Sky News.